Welcome to this question and answer session between myself, Robert, and Charlotte. I'm going to ask Charlotte some questions in relation to a leaseholder wanting to bring a disrepair claim against the freeholder. What parts of the property is the landlord responsible for fixing, and what part as a tenant am I responsible for fixing?
With a lease, the landlord will be responsible for the roof, for the brickwork, for the pipes, the drains, and as a leaseholder you'll be responsible for the inner skin of the property, the plaster, the walls, and the fixtures and fittings within.
Okay. And I don't actually know who my landlord is, so what can you do to resolve that issue?
You can do a simple search at the land registry and that will tell you who the freeholder is of the property.
Okay. So will I be charged for the repairs that are carried out?
If your landlord carries out major repairs to the building, they're entitled to charge each flat a proportion of the money that's been spent.
Okay. And what is the procedure in carrying out these repairs? How do we get the landlord to do them, and how long generally does it take?
If there's been a delay in your landlord carrying out repairs, you're likely to have a disrepair claim, and that would start by following a protocol and writing to the landlord, setting out the basis of your claim against them and proposing that a survey is carried out. We'd then obtain a survey and give it to the landlord and ask them to complete the repairs and to pay you some compensation. If at that point they didn't, then a court case would start and there'd be an exchange of evidence, including the documents that you have in support and witness evidence. And the idea would be to put pressure on them because they'd be facing trial if they didn't carry out repairs and settle. Okay. So it could take perhaps 12 to 18 months.
What kind of funding arrangements are available to do this?
Litigation is expensive and we need to find ways of funding the claim where you wouldn't have to give us any money up front, and we can do that by way of a no-win, no-fee agreement. It's not completely without risk to you, but we would explain that, and there is insurance available in the event that you might have to pay out costs if you lost.
Okay. And generally what are the level of damages that you may receive from a landlord when you bring a claim?
In disrepair claims, a tenant is usually paid back a proportion of the rent to reflect that they've not had the full value of the tenancy. With a lease, there isn't any rent, so a court would look at what the market rent is, and because market rents in London are very high, damages can be quite significant in leasehold cases. Okay.
And I've been in my property for a number of years now. How far can I go back to bring a disrepair claim?
It's usually 12 years because the terms of the lease will provide that as a deed.